This is the Irish Podcast, episode 21. And tonight we have a bit of some controversy that's been going on to speak on a topic. And I think Rambo will speak on this topic as well. And I think as gamers, we shouldn't ignore these issues that come up, okay? We're adults, okay? We can discuss them openly, okay, with all these issues and still come to common ground, okay? And before that, though, before we get into all of this, though, I want the panel, the people that are here tonight, the panel, to introduce themselves. We do have some people that are missing. They had some personal stuff to do. They'll be back, but we still have an excellent cast. So, Demetrius, take it away.
What's going on, everybody?
Demetrius?
This is Melissa. Doing to everybody. Can y'all hear me? Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on, everyone? This is Lords of Eclipse. Doing this great podcast with everyone. Love you guys. I'm still currently at work, so if I randomly stop talking or something like that, that means I'm dealing with a customer in my store. So just let everyone know that.
Very dedicated. Thank you, Demetrius. Okay, then next up, we got J-Dub.
Hey, everybody. It's your boy J-Dub, a.k.a. Kratos, the god of PlayStation. Here rocking out with TheTitanFallPrincess and the rest of the crew. Let's do this.
Okay, and next up, we got Rambo.
What's going on, guys? It's Rambo with Rambo's Corner, and just gonna sit here and talk some games and some BS. So why not?
All right, the first topic we're going to get to, it has to do with gaming, because I know, Rambo, you know about this. I know about J-Dub and anybody else if they've been paying attention, and I know that you wanted to speak on this a little bit, so I am going to give you the floor. But there has been a bit of feminism on Twitter and YouTube this week when it comes to gaming. Personally, I don't agree with the feminist bullshit. I don't. I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in that shit, okay? I think it's, around just to nitpick, or, at the least important things and ignore the real issues that goes on in the community. And as a female gamer and a YouTuber, okay, the last thing I ever want to do is to use my gender as an excuse or a handicap, okay? I won't do that. I don't need excuses. If I'm having a bad day gaming, I just have a day. Play the game, I just can't play it. If I don't like it, I just don't like it. It's not because I'm a female and I'm not going to use that. Okay, but there are some people out there doing some of this stuff. But enough about what I think, because I think sometimes we need a man's perspective on this as well. Okay, and like I said, I'm sure Rambo has a lot to say about it because we talked about this somewhat. Okay, feminism in gaming media. So right now, Rambo, and you guys can jump in later on. I'm going to give Rambo the floor because I know he wanted to talk about this a little bit. So go ahead, Rambo, take it away.
Well, first of all, let's I guess figure out what feminism actually is. What we all know it as, equal rights back whenever they actually fought for equal rights for women back in the 60s, around 50, 60, somewhere around there.
Right, yeah.
It actually served a purpose. It was actually there for a reason, and because they were actually treated like second-class citizens. And fast forward to today's day and time, and feminism has turned itself into basically, let me find an excuse as to the reason why I can't succeed.
Exactly.
And so feminism, whenever I say feminism as a cancer or anything like that, it's nothing about the actual feminism. It's actually about what it is today. So that's where we're going to start with the preface of that. There was with the Mass Effect Andromeda, big old mess up. There was I guess a woman that actually put it on her profile everywhere, all over social media, that said she was the lead artist or lead animator of the Mass Effect Andromeda series. And so, as everybody knows, the animations for that game is trash. And so an article came out showing that, she was a lead animator, and they actually basically a bunch of people went out and actually, I guess they said harassed her, but the actual things that were shown were basically, you did a terrible job, you should be fired. There was one that was actually a very sexual one, but the other ones were basically calling her for her to be fired. And the news people, and this is what kind of threw me off, is because the news people labeled it female. I mean, like in parentheses, like female developer gets harassed, and I was like, so I quoted the tweet. I'm like, why do you have to point out that she's a female? Like, if harassment should be wrong, no matter what gender the person is. I hate whenever they point out like race and gender of a person as if it's some sort of more of a travesty because they are of a certain color or a certain sex. There's no right or wrong. Wrong is wrong, no matter what. And so the journalism has actually turned itself into, you can never criticize a game, you can never do anything, say anything as far as gaming goes if a female is involved. They've made it to where if a man, basically it's predominantly, I mean, we're going to say, I wouldn't say it's predominantly men. I would say probably about 50-50 men, but I see more men in gaming than what I do women, but I know there's more women. There's a lot of women out there. I just see more men. But whenever they speak up to these articles, they get labeled a sexist, a misogynist, a racist, or whatever, just because the narrative is more directed towards their gender or their ethnicity rather than the actual reason why that the actual thing happened. It's terrible that this woman got, or this developer got harassed, but we should focus on the harassment rather than the actual gender of the person. And it's creeping itself into video games. I mean, if you look at Mass Effect, they actually had a lead developer that was like a very well-known racist, and he was celebrated. I mean, they didn't do anything about it until he was fired, or until he was let go after the game was done. They had this lady here that apparently had no experience animating a game, but yes, she still animated a game. They hired BioWare basically they hired based off of gender and stuff like that, and then it's in their game. Conversations with the characters and stuff like that, talking about what is it, the transgender, which is, there's nothing wrong with the transgender or anything like that. I mean, I'm just saying that it's just injecting itself. The social problems that you're seeing on social media is injecting itself into our gaming. And I get that some games like lean towards a political spectrum or whatever, but I mean, Mass Effect, I mean, I don't understand how Mass Effect the actual world of Mass Effect is a political game. So we need to keep the politics out of that game. Let's make it an actual game of what it is, you know, the actual content of what it is, not so much of the politics as let's push an agenda, let's push the feminism, let's push the, you know, the transgender, let's push the racism part. Let's not push all that into our gaming. Let our games be the place where we escape from all that stupid bullshit. That's kind of where I stand. I don't know.
No, I agree with that. No, that was well said. I agree with what you said, because like you said, this is a place where we come to escape from the bullshit that's out in the world, and it doesn't belong there either. But unfortunately, it exists. But like you said, don't put it in our area where we escape from that bullshit when we come in our door, from work, from whatever.
Oh, yeah, because
they need to keep it like at a political level if they even want to keep it at that level.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like the games that revolve around some sort of politics. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see it in there because that's the nature of the actual content of the game.
Yeah,
but, like we're just gonna say like games like Uncharted. If that had some politics in it, that would be weird because the setting isn't anywhere nothing about politics.
It's a treasure hunter. It doesn't need any politics.
But it's starting to creep itself into games like that, and it's kind of, I mean, just look at. Okay, I don't know if anybody knows who Anita Sarkeesian is, and what she did, because she kind of like tried to put out like tropes versus women, like how basically women in video games are miscategorized or misidentified or misogynized, I guess. And she got lambasted by a bunch of gamers, and so Neil Druckmann of Naughty Dog actually sided with Anita Sarkeesian. And if you look at Uncharted 4, there is a fight scene between that I forgot what that girl's name is. I actually just went through it, but that black girl, I think her name was Naomi, and then and Drake. Okay, there's two different portions where he actually fights her. Neither time could he actually even beat her. He couldn't even get a hand on her in that library. How many enemies has Drake gone against?
Exactly.
Like, super enemies, and he's actually killed them. But for some reason, with that one female, he couldn't even lay a hand on her. Like, he couldn't even punch her. She was dodging every punch. But if you look at it, I mean, it's a slot, those slight things like that that's slowly starting to creep itself in, instead of actually being, about the actual game.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I wanted to see if you guys saw this. I saw this. Somebody put it out last night on Twitter. Okay, talking about misidentifying stuff. Somebody had the nerve to say that some women have penises. Then it's not a woman. Did you guys see that shit?
Yeah,
Well,
we saw that.
It depends. Are you talking about like a transgender, like they're born with, or like?
No, they actually just said some women have penises. That was their quote. Well, no, they don't. Okay, unless they are, either transgender, which if that's what you are, that's fine. But it's still a male. Okay, or if you were born with both parts, then that's something different. Come on.
You can't. To be honest, you can't really classify it to like that. If you really want to get technical, you have to see what reproductive organs they have, not just that external organ right there. You have to look on the inside to really make sure.
As it relates to gaming, I'm going to say two things about this. I'm going to say, as a male, I don't want to, I can't, as a male, I can't qualify to speak on the behalf of a woman and what they feel and the type of things that they feel that is going against them. That's their right. That's their thing. And I'm not going to force my views upon them or tell them what they can and cannot feel. But on a second note, we also have to realize that we're human and these developers are artists. They're creatives. We only see the end result. We don't see the blood, sweat, and tears, the late hours that goes into making these games. And these guys pour their lives, sometimes years and years at a time. So these guys do their best to come out with a game based on the money, based on the budget, and everything else. And so they make these games, and since they're human, depending on the type of game they have, they may pour themselves into that character. They may, and that's basically what they do. They pour their hearts and their self inside that character. And if they feel like that character represents them in a game, that's their right. That's the feeling. And I have read up a little bit about the story about the lady with Mass Effect, whatever. And it's like, look, I bought the game. I thought it was a great game. It didn't bother me at all what was going on. Just, I think people just kind of overblown it, but that's just my opinion. But when it comes to politics and the social aspect of these games, we have to realize it's not going anywhere. It's 2017. People are.
Oh no, it's definitely not.
It's not. It's here and it's going to stay. Yes, people are going to have their opinions about different things, like Naomi as a character and guys being at the forefront of all the gaming and rarely including women. Well, if you guys have noticed in the last few years, there's been a ton of female-only games that from Tomb Raider to Horizon Zero Dawn so women are starting to get their just due in these video games. That is something that we should be celebrating. Because
to be honest, though, they've been there though. Samus and
I understand that, but you ask most people about Samus, they don't know that's female.
But that's not the problem though. That's their problem for not doing the research. Nobody cared about the Samus's sex.
Yeah, but the face, think about it. The face of a video game, the face on a cover of Horizon Zero Dawn and Tomb Raider is a woman now. This was not the case years back.
The way I look at it is, if you do inclusion for the sake of inclusion, like if you are trying to create video game characters that are women based on the fact that just because they are women,
hey, you guys still there?
To get more women represented,
then
you're doing it for the whole wrong reason. It
Yeah,
is
we're
not.
here.
Yeah, but I get that.
Can I
But
say
here's the
something?
thing. Here's the point. I'm trying to get at. Okay,
Um,
for the regular person, the regular consumer of the game that doesn't want the politics, they don't want the social issues in the game. That's one thing, and that's their opinion. But but here's the thing: just because you don't want to be bombarded with issues that you don't care about, does not mean that everyone else has to continue to hold their
No,
peace on things.
But here's
no,
the
I'm
thing
not.
for
No, nobody's saying
for
like. So nobody's saying like that. Like
can I ask you guys a question?
it's yeah. Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, like I'm still working, so like I muted you guys for a second because I sold like 5 fucking iPhones. Sorry, so I heard some of it because I had my headphones in because I wasn't generally paying attention, but I know the subject is about feminists, so that's what I heard. I don't understand this whole feminist thing because when I play video games and I create a character, I love women, so I create a female character. Like I have Mass Effect Andromeda, and I have an Asian female character.
Oh, I
I
always
don't
play. I
care.
always play as a female if I have an option.
Right. So like I don't generally care about if a woman like if I'm playing Assassin's Creed or something. I don't care if the woman is the character you
I
play
don't.
as is a woman.
Yeah,
Who
no, I
cares?
yeah,
don't.
then in
No,
second
no,
case, you
no,
have a choice to
no,
be the male or
no.
the female.
No,
Okay,
but
you're
that's
not.
not what we were talking
Okay,
about.
no, yeah, because I like if in that case, like say a game that allows you choice or even doesn't even allow you a choice, like Horizon Zero Dawn. People were actually
Yeah.
up in arms about Horizon Zero Dawn because it was like quote unquote a feminist game or whatever, and they
I never got a
basically
feminist feel for
no,
it.
no. Basically, what it was actually feminists attached themselves to this game.
Yeah.
They're the ones who went out and attached themselves to it. It was never the game attaching itself to feminism.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that. Those games don't bother me. I play them and I love them. It's not because
Yeah.
that's not pushing an agenda. I don't care that games are being created with women. I don't care that games are being that stuff like that. It's just when you're trying to force an agenda
Mhm.
down somebody's throat, like if they basically created a game, okay, I know I'm not. I don't want to get onto the whole really full political thing because it's not. This isn't what this thing is. But we're just going to give you an small little example. The going thing right now on Twitter and on social media is a lot of people just like hate white people, the white man specifically. And it's almost like a social norm that if somebody says something negative like that, like killing the white man or whatever, then it's okay, So if you were to get a game that had nothing to do with basically, like I said, we're just gonna say Uncharted, and like the whole thing was focused on forcing that agenda to kill the white man, like that they were like that's what the thing was like, was negative against the white people. Wouldn't that still be like, wouldn't you like not want that, like as far as like give me the game that was actually supposed to be there, not this agenda filled thing?
Yeah. No. We
Portion that I was talking about,
no,
not
no, no, no.
not the
Yeah.
actual content.
Yeah. I get
But
that.
political issues are kind of
I get that.
like you could say political issues are like a virus. Once you have a major political issue, for maybe a little bit, it'll stay in that political area, but over time, it's gonna change form and infect
Oh,
other
I agree.
part of
I
yeah.
just
It's like
want to see the like the gamers are not just. I don't want us, because I've seen what the kind of the fall of social media in general.
I mean, there's
Whether it
ways
be, I
to
just don't want to see the
delay
gaming. I
it.
don't want to see gaming that happen to us as well in gamers.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I hear you. We
definitely.
should just
Yeah, that's my
keep it
point.
gaming, keep it
Yeah.
gaming.
Yeah,
keep it
there's definitely ways to stop it or to avoid it and stuff.
Yeah, but here's the thing, okay? Some asshat on Twitter or on Facebook, if they want to push an agenda about a game, whether it's related or not, they're
That's
going
fine.
to.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it catches, you got to realize, I mean, it's social media, so it catches fire quick. It only
Oh
takes
yeah.
somebody just to cause a chaos just because they wanted to. A troll, sit back and create something and just watch the flames go.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it grows and grows. And so you can't stop that. And before you know it, if it's video game related, it's going to attach itself to the studio. It's going to attach itself to the game. And then you're going to have a ton of people wanting to stay away from the game because they heard that this game had, some views or something like that. And it's like, guys, it's just a freaking video game, but it is an art. And that's why I want to say, this is an art.
But here's my thing. Okay, can I say something real quick? Here's my thing. Let's say someone pushes a certain agenda on a certain video game. Why are you staying away from it since, like, why are you staying away from it since it doesn't affect you personally? It might affect your general like ethnicity or whatever you call yourself, but it doesn't affect you personally. So I see no need for you to not support the game
Well,
just for.
I'm glad you actually brought that up.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
I'm glad you brought that up because we're just going to speak about real quick about that, like the Mass Effect, that Manver, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He tweeted out several times talking about the white men should die, white men are the devil. I mean, just constantly, basically racist shit towards white people.
Yeah.
And my thought it still is that I will buy that game because I have to have it for my collection for one thing, but I will buy it used so that way the developer does not get a single dime of my money.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. That is one guy. That's one guy, part of a whole studio.
Okay, yes. Okay, but wait, because I'm glad you said that, because now the reason here's the thing. The reason why I'm holding the studio responsible, because first of all, that's your lead developer, and you're allowing him to do it. You're not doing anything to him. But whenever this other lady developer got harassed, they sent out a thing saying BioWare does not condone or deal with any form of harassment or putting others down and whatever like that. I'm like, you can't sit there and condemn gamers for going after this woman that's a BioWare dev, but not condemn that damn BioWare dev that went after all white people.
Well, okay, I can see your reasoning because
they're hypocritical.
They're going after the gamers. I can see your point there, but if some other person besides the developers or the studio says something about that game.
Oh, like you mean like how Solid Rev sets up about like that
The Last of Us. Yeah, he didn't want to play that.
And Horizon Zero Dawn was Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah,
don't let them affect you personally.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Like,
but
I even got into it with Solid Rev.
Are talking about you as a player, then yeah, you should definitely consider buying it used and stuff like that.
But I mean, I don't fault those that actually buy the game and play it. I'm not holding something against you, Jay.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with
that's your choice.
That.
That's your choice.
Here's the thing. I'm a gamer, and this is about games. So what some asshat does behind the scenes, some guy that I don't even know, as long as that fucker delivers a great game that I like, I will buy the game, and I will tune out any and every racist shit, any misogynist, any whatever kind of stuff. Because
don't put any fuel to the fire.
I hate to cut you off, but I don't understand how people complain about women when look at Warcraft. She's a woman. She's been out for like 20 years.
Yes.
Why are people just now caring about a female?
Because social media.
Thing is,
that's the thing. That's social media. They're trying to find something else to nitpick at now.
But
that's what they do.
Yeah, we got social issues.
When it comes to gaming, a male and a female, the main difference I can see is the preference of voice. That is the only thing. Like, looks really don't matter to you if it's a great game with a good story. The only thing is the preference over a male voice or a female voice, and that's really easy to get over. So I don't understand the whole feminist point of view to gaming.
It's all subjective, guy. It really is. It's in the eye of the beholder, and I try not to let it affect me, because at the end of the day, I'm a gamer. Whether it's some guy on YouTube or some guy behind the scenes that made Uncharted or Mass Effect. As long as that game comes out and it's a decent game, that's all I care about. And I tune out all the trash and all the nonsense that I don't care about or care to associate with.
I tried to, Jay. I think that whenever it comes to like if it was just like the feminist portion of the Mass Effect, I could definitely look past it, but. It's the racist shit that actually is, because to me, whether it be racist against white people, whether it be racist against black people, if there was a white developer, well, I mean, we all know what would have happened. He would have been fired. But if there was a white developer come out that basically was talking about black people should die and stuff like that, I would still feel the exact same way, because I think that when it comes to racism, the only way you're going to actually ever stop racism is not ignoring it, is actually by standing up to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I'm standing up to it with my wallet, because the only way to actually show BioWare that I don't agree with what that them employing that guy and that guy having a job is so that way they don't get my money.
Let me ask you guys a question. So, what happened with the guy with BioWare? Just give me a fast recap because I know we don't have
he tweeted his Twitter was full. His Twitter timeline while he was actually at work was actually him drinking a coffee cup, saying "white people tears," saying "white men should die," "white men are the scum of the earth," "white men are the cause of all evil." And then
was he an African American who said that?
No. He was a Middle Eastern American.
Yeah,
that's not a cool thing to say, huh?
No, it will mean.
Well, and here's the thing, okay?
You didn't say that about nobody. Period.
I understand that, but and I totally they should have fired the guy. I totally get all of that, but here's the thing, okay? For us that's in the U.S. right now, we have a certain president. Depending on what end of the political spectrum you are, that has hired people. He's said things. He's done things. There's not a lot of outrage on that from some people, and that's
in my
okay.
opinion, both of them did.
Yeah, yes, but what I'm trying to say is it's all subjective because some people would be like, "Oh, what he did, what he said, that's nothing. Let's just look over that." But for the other stuff, people want to get up in arms when the shoes are on the other foot. So personally, I always try to put myself in the person who did that shoes and figure out, well, why is this guy spotting this stuff? What happened? I don't know, but it's messy, and that's why I try not to get into it because it's just very messy, and especially dealing with the feminism part of it. I mean, you're gonna have the whole group of people coming at you for trying to get your point across, and it's going to be taken a certain way. So I just try to stay out of that forefront and just keep it going.
Well, I mean,
as a guy, it's a lose-lose situation.
Like when it comes
with me though, I mean, I'm almost like kind of like Colin. Like I have like two passions in life, and that's politics and gaming as well. So they kind of merge themselves a lot of times, especially in this kind of scenario.
In the recent years.
But Rambo, you look at things from your perspective as the type of person you are. You look at things from the type of games you like. You're always looking at it from your view and your perspective. But sometimes you have to step out of your realm and look at it from the other side.
If I looked at it from his thing, the reason why he said he felt this way was because after Donald Trump said whatever he said or whatever like that, that white people were actually coming at him talking about how he should die, so therefore he started hating white people. If I looked at it, if I looked at it and thought that was okay, like saying, okay, well, I understand where he's coming from. Guess what? Then I have to say that you know what? It's okay that racism exists because the reason why racism exists is because, like, say, are you black, Jay?
I am.
Okay, so say if you did something to me, well, all of a sudden I hate black people now.
Yeah,
that's exactly how racism actually became racism. I
get that racism is there too. That says that one group of people is better than the other. That's how it started, and I mean we can go back through the whole freaking history.
But your whole
all of this.
That's the thing. At that point of time when you choose to hate,
I don't think that's generally true.
But at the point of time when you choose to hate a whole race from one or a group of people, your life automatically becomes miserable because now you're forced to hate everybody of that race that I wouldn't say you encounter, but mostly every person of that ethnicity that you encounter.
True, that's true, but that's true,
and they're everywhere.
But back to that is back to my point I was trying to make. When you have a certain person or a big political figure, a president or something that's admonishing a whole group or a religion or people, and people find that okay, they agree with him on that, then what does that say? You know, it's very hypocritical. It's very hypocritical. We have to pick and choose what we want to agree to and adhere to, and then on the other side, we can't pick and choose what we want to agree with. For example, Rambo, if you say
that's exactly
I do not want to, I will not admonish some guy for saying something racist, but when it comes to this feminism stuff or something like that, women's rights, well, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't want to skip over that. Then it's like you're kind of picking and choosing. You either have to go for the whole political spectrum, or you have to kind of step back and just stay away from it, because then when you pick and choose, and somebody's going to be the loser.
Well, the reason why I said that about the feminism is because feminism doesn't actually promote hate.
See,
and where racism actually effectively
could,
does.
it could, because there's a lot of women out there that hate guys.
See, but
Yes.
feminism
I don't associate.
changed.
Yeah, feminism. This is like third wave feminism, and it's
Yeah, the
where
definition
now,
has changed. Like, even though I don't like the guy, but Rags put it like perfectly in that video before Horizon came out about I forgot her name, but he searched up the definition, put it up there, and then he gave an explanation of how it changed. And even though I don't care for him, that was the perfect explanation of it. In my opinion.
it's
Rambo
definitely
brought
evolved.
that up. Rambo even said how it's changed from when it first came. There was a reason for it, because people, class citizens not being able to vote, not being able to do this, do that.
Yeah.
But it has changed to what it was put there for. Rambo was absolutely right when he said that earlier.
Yeah. Well,
it has changed.
You're right, and it's kind of like this. Okay, let's just take civil rights. That started as certain group of people just wanting to be able to have the right to vote. And then after that, and then it changed to other things. Well, now I have the right to vote. Now I want to have the right to be able to get a decent job and in education and this and that. So some things do change. But
feminism, that's different though. People, everybody should have a right to a decent job and a decent education. So to add that into that, I could see that. But what Rambo was saying and what he said, what's his name said, is it's got carried away. You've got a group that
it's way out of control.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
That makes it way out of control. Not everybody. Not everybody.
No, not everybody.
I don't believe in the new type. That new type of feminism shit that's out there. That's all over the place. I don't agree with that shit.
Totally agree. I totally agree with that. And another thing is, okay, again, going back to that example, a lot of this stuff that just came out is trying to attach itself to civil rights, and it's like you can't attach something like that to civil rights or something where people died and sacrificed to. I'm a woman, I should be able to automatically do this or do that or whatever. And it's like, no, you have to kind of get in line and do that as well. But
you also have to earn it. You also have to earn it. It's not like, I hear some people saying, well, I want a job and as a woman, I should have it because of this, that. No, if you're qualified, you're qualified. I say the same thing about a man. If you're qualified, you're qualified. It should have nothing to do with a man or a woman.
You should always be hired or promoted or whatever based on your merits, not the color of your skin and not the gender between your legs.
Exactly.
That should never go into play when it comes to who gets hired or who gets promoted.
But unfortunately, it does.
Yeah, it does, and that's unfortunate is that there are people,
and that's what
feminism.
Rambo, that's what keeps all the shit go. That's what keeps all the shit going.
Oh, I know. And then we keep on wanting to pass laws based on the fact of, well, we need more black people. We need more black people in this field. We need more women in this field. And I'm like, if black people wanted to be in that field or women wanted to be in that field, there's no law right now stopping them from being in that field.
Maybe they just don't want to be there.
But where does all this?
Yeah, there's personal choice involved. I mean, you know what I mean? It's all personal. You can't, like, we should not force people into a field because we need more. We just feel that we need more black people there. We need more women there.
You're right. But it also goes back to, well, it goes back to education, opportunity for education. It goes back to income. It goes back to all these things that are keeping certain people from being able to, get educated, to be in a position to go to apply for that job.
But I wouldn't say that's a race thing. I would say that's more of a socioeconomic.
Yeah, you're right.
It's basically all income related rather than race related.
But where does they've
tried to turn it into a sex related thing.
Like all these problems go back to the government. If the government would quit promoting themselves into higher parts of the government and actually let people come into the government, it would be better. Like I don't even call this a democracy anymore. Like
we never were democracy.
No state.
Yeah,
we never were democracy.
We're a constitution. We never were. We were founded as a constitutional republic, and we've always been a constitutional republic.
Yeah,
but besides that, look, because the president, like Hillary, she was what, Secretary of State. She tried to become president. She's basically promoting herself up. Like the government is just promoting their lower staff up and up and up into higher staff. So we're still gonna have the same problems for years to come. So all we need, well, I wouldn't say all we need, but we need more of the people to have some control towards the government than we have in today's times. And then maybe some of these problems will start disappearing or maybe even go away in a couple years, or not a couple, but
I don't think the problems
years
will ever go away because you're always going to have people that think they have control. They should have control over everybody. So I don't think it'll ever go away. We may be able to iron out some issues to an extent.
Yeah.
Without getting this into a political cast, I'll give you a quick rendition as to the reason why it will never happen. The Supreme Court gave the ruling that it's okay for these corporations to donate as much money as they want to these politicians, and so therefore they bought the politicians. Second of all, is that the newer and newer generation, we raise this newer generation basically where everybody gets a trophy. And so everybody gets in there. Everybody's entitled to win. Everybody's a winner, and so therefore the government has now started going around and doing handouts to you hand out Obama, they called them Obama phones, but they were really Bush phones or whatever. But Obama phones, they had healthcare, all these different little things that the government wants to hand out to the people. We're starting to people are becoming dependent upon the government. So
we barely have the budget to pay for all this.
I agree 100%. But the only reason that it'll never stop is because the more and more we depend on the government, the people will never rise up above it because the government is what is giving all this stuff to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm going to give the counter side to that. Okay, how does the government get paid?
Through our tax dollars.
Our taxes.
Exactly. Who is they? Who is they tax? Who is they? You, me,
the people,
the regular citizen, any person at work, right? That's
the government running.
That's who they is. Okay. So guess what? If I spent 15, 20, 30 years of my life paying tax dollars to the government, if I get laid off or if I'm unable to work, shouldn't I be able to get my money back? Shouldn't I be able to get some kind of benefit that is exactly my money? That's my money. That's not the government's money. That's not somebody else's money. That's the money that I paid into the system at one point in time.
No, now that
are we
originally the government was okay. Originally what the taxes were for, the government was supposed to be small. Very small.
We turn this into a politics show now, guys.
We are. I'm sorry, but
we're going to the end of it, but we're both just we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up.
Okay, the government was supposed to be very small, not into all these different social programs and everything like that, and it was supposed to be very like your taxes were pretty much minimal at that point, just basically to help create laws and to make the place run at a more smoother thing. The more and more that politics have gone on, the more and more perverted it has become, with money and everything else involved. And so now we are actually funding, our protection. Well, obviously we have to have like the army and the military and stuff to protect us and stuff like that. But the tax dollars are going for all that, plus all these other social programs. So like basically, your tax dollars that you're paying in now are going towards that. I'm just using this as an example. I don't know your neighbor, but your next door neighbor. Yeah, your next door neighbor. Your next door neighbor that is 25 years old and capable of working, but refuses to because they can make more money sitting at home on welfare. That's where your tax dollars are going.
I heard that before, but I refuse to believe that there's just majority of the people. I refuse to believe that the majority of the people want to just sit at home and get $200 a month from the government. Nobody's sitting at home getting $6,000 and $7,000 a month. What it is the media and the politicians have brainwashed us into thinking that the problem is poor people instead of the rich people that pay 0% in taxes. Guess what? I can blame my neighbor who makes $25,000 a year, who sits at home or maybe work a little job, but maybe gets some government assistance or whatever. I can blame him, but they tell me not to blame this guy that makes billions and not pay hundreds of millions of taxes that he should pay. So that's what it is. You have a bunch of rich people telling middle class people that the problem is poor people. That's the problem.
It's not all that. It's not all that. No, I agree with that.
We're brainwashed to think that way, to look at the small people instead of the big people.
I get that, and I agree with you there, because I feel like there should just be like a flat tax across the board where every single rich to poor, you all pay 10%. It doesn't matter what you make, you just pay 10% of your earnings, and that's
definitely.
it.
Agree. The last point I'm going to make on this is the problem with that is, let's say if tomorrow we start with a flat tax. Well, here's the problem with that. Okay, some guy who's already spent the last 10 years not paying taxes, building his wealth. Now he has the head start. Somebody's always going to have a head start.
But that doesn't matter. Like there's
exactly. If it's flat across the board,
if that's the case, this is what I want to do. I want to let me hurry up and gather all the money I can right now in preparation to not paying taxes or paying very low taxes. And then,
no, but the more money you have, the more tax money you have to give if it's a flat rate.
I mean, eventually it's going to end up being that, because he'll be taxed 10% on his net worth.
Yeah,
exactly. So the more money, so he has to pay more money than you will.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. If I have millions of dollars, okay, and the biggest bulk of the money is not even in this country, and it can't be taxed by this country because I have the benefits, and I have the lawyers, and I have the connections and the loopholes that Congress gave me to make sure that no matter what law passed in the future, my money will be safe over in the Caymans.
But just remember that. I mean, you're getting into the Bernie Sanders type talking, and remember, no, I'm not saying anything about you in general, or even Bernie, but just remember the reason why these people are capable of doing that. Bernie Sanders he wanted the government to help control this and like disperse the wealth and stuff, which I get his thought behind it. But you're actually asking a government that has actually implemented these laws to allow these people to continue to get rich and to write these taxes off all the time, to turn around and then disperse the wealth equally.
It won't happen. Come on,
it'll never happen.
It won't happen. Come on, we know that. We're asking the senators and congressmen to undo their benefits, and they're not going to do that.
I just don't believe that any rich man. I don't believe any rich man.
Randomly again, when we went from gaming to like fucking politics. Okay?
I know, right?
I can never ask a rich man to pay more in taxes, like basically tax them even more, so therefore I can have more.
No, it's not about.
I think that if they worked themselves to get to where they were rich, then good on them.
It's not about a guy working hard. It's about a guy not paying his fair share of taxes because he's able to have a loophole because he has so much money. If you have anything over 1.5, let's say $1 million, okay, anything over $1 million. You're taxed much lower, and you qualify for those loopholes but you just kind of turned around to where you're like, instead of blaming the poor man, blame the rich man. But why are we blaming any man at all? Why don't we just blame the government, because they're the ones who actually created the law to allow that man to do it? Yes, but that guy is a rich man's fault. Is it a poor man in Congress?
Let me ask you this. No, wait. Let me ask you this.
Okay, go ahead.
If you were rich, if you were Shaquille O'Neal,
yes,
and you had the opportunity to basically this year, you were either going to have to pay $17 million in taxes, or you could actually just write this little line item on your taxes legally and only pay $500,000. Which one are you going to do honestly?
Listen, I get that, and that's why most rich people have what do you call it? Charitable donations and charitable.
Yes, you cannot blame the man for taking advantage of the law that the government created.
If you think about it, Bill Gates said himself, he gives away more money. He gives away hundreds of millions of dollars a year. He gives it away, but his income increases way more than he can give away. That's the problem. Once you're in that tax bracket, man, the money just pours in, and poor people and middle class people try to justify this in some kind of rational way to say it's not this person is I don't blame the individual themselves. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but the system is designed for them and they benefit from that, whereas the middle class and the lower class people do not benefit. So in a way,
capitalism is set up that way, but they're the ones who originally either their family or them either started the business and got themselves there and then pass it down generation to generation or whatever.
I really
got
hate
themselves at that
these classes.
Got themselves at that point to where they were that rich. But I mean, like, there's nothing stopping me as a 40-year-old American from getting to the point of making millions and millions of dollars. There's nothing stopping me. There's nothing holding me back besides me going, you know what, the government, that there's so many rules and laws that are there that are going to be holding me back. And I'm defeating myself already before I ever go into even trying to make the money. I'm defeating myself before I even do it. So therefore I'm never going to be there. I'm never going to make it.
I get that.
I'm blaming other people besides myself.
No, it's not that you're blaming other people. You're just saying, hey, can I get the same opportunity that this guy got?
Everybody can. All you got to do is apply yourself. Yeah, sure. You might actually have to work.
Everybody
twice as
has
hard.
the same opportunity. They just have a different work ethic.
Yeah, you might have to work twice as hard as what they had, what you felt that they had to, or whatever. But I mean, in the end,
I'm
do
you
really want it?
Rambo? But that's not always generally true, because where I work at, I mean, sometimes sometimes people do favoritism. So I don't care what workplace you work at. Yeah, you have to apply yourself to get better. Like if you want to be a manager, obviously you have to apply yourself, do things in order, show up to work on time, always do what you're supposed to do to become a manager. You got to be with the company for a while. Like you have to. That's the way to be a manager.
But you have the opportunity to be favored by the man over the manager.
Yeah, but you also know there are some people who do favoritism.
TitanFalls.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm trying. You guys won't give me word edgewise. Boy, oh boy, that stir up something. God damn.
Sorry
about that.
I didn't mean you guys to get that deep now.
No, actually, I would like to. I mean, I know we're going to end it right here, but I would like to actually.
There's one other topic that I want to bring up that later on. I want to get into a game right now, but later on it was another one that I wanted to bring up that had to do with YouTube, and it's a little controversial. And you guys, I know, will take off on that one too, so we got to save time for that one.
Okay.
All right.
But I would be willing to continue the conversation with any of you guys on a different time if y'all would actually be interested in it.
Hey, Rambo,
definitely.
Yeah, Rambo, just hit me up, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's something that does need to be discussed. Okay, but let's do that on another platform.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Let's get deeper on another platform. We can all do that. That's not a problem. Okay, next one. You guys had brought the game up, and that was something I did want to talk about, which was Mass Effect Andromeda, which we all know came out. Yeah. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I said it wrong. And the day it came out, Twitter was posting, I don't know if you guys saw it, funny videos and pics of how weird the faces looked in Mass Effect. Okay. Now, I personally didn't play the game yet. Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
But I did love Mass Effect 2. Okay. Especially when you got to go mine on the planets. I just liked that little shit. It was relaxing and I had fun. Okay. I saw some footage of Mass Effect being played. In fact, it was by, the 7th level was, live streaming playing. And I could see that they had some glitches and some of the faces were funny. Okay. On the stream. Okay. And I know you guys talked about it a little bit, but I do want to get you guys' thoughts on the game for those who played it, because like I said, I personally did not play it, so I cannot personally give my honest opinion of the game. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just shut up because I haven't played it either.
And if you didn't buy it, are you gonna buy it? Okay. Wait a minute. Before I let you guys talk, I will say this. I heard that EA is talking about releasing a patch for it. I don't know if that's true now. But my only personal thing is when it comes to gaming, I'm tired of games this gen using patches to fix their problems, okay? They should already be fixed before the game comes out. Stop rushing the shit. Just
take extra time.
Take the time to develop a game, all right? And you won't have to worry about then they won't have to worry about all this shit. What are your thoughts about Mass Effect, Andromeda, and what was said. If you played it, did you guys see this? Did it affect your gameplay? Do you like the game? If you don't have it, are you going to buy it based on what you heard? And what do you think about them constantly putting patches in games as well instead of just coming out? So the floor is yours now, guys.
All right, well, I have the game. I'll go first. I have the game. I'm 20 hours in. Thanks for the invite, Princess. I do appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
All right, what's up to the panel? Yeah, I've actually got the game on pause. The problem with this game isn't what people have made it out to be. The problem is that EA invited a lot of big Mass Effect YouTubers out to San Francisco to review this game, and none of them said anything about the glitches and things like that. So now their credibility as YouTubers is taking a hit. It is. I mean, people are just on them like, how come you all didn't say anything and things like that.
Amen.
Also, and they have literally come out and said, well, they had a vested interest in the game doing well because of their channels.
Okay, but
because they saw the same problems that everybody else is seeing. Wait, real fast.
Okay. So before you get into your gameplay of it, actually.
Well, no, that's fine. I'm just going to talk about the patches. I do agree with
it
should not be patched afterwards, but there are some things that they're going to do. All developers that. For stability reasons and things like that actually help the game. The facial animations, that's part of the source code. I don't know how they're going to fix that. It's good in some spots. It's bad in the other spots. My personal opinion, I'm going to wrap it up with this, is you guys remember Dragon Age Inquisitions, right? Came out in 2014. Yeah, same company. It's like they didn't learn from that. BioWare did not learn from that source engine. And so that makes the game disappointing. But as far as the physical gameplay, that's fun. That is fun. But that's all I got.
The source engine for this one is actually Frostbite. It's not the same. It's not the same source engine as what was with Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
As far as
my issue with because I haven't. I was playing it. I haven't really got too far into the game because I've been working like 10 in the morning to close from AT&T. We close at 8 o'clock. So I only have the chance to play about 4 hours of the game, and I definitely don't want to give a review on it. But at the beginning of the game, I noticed, because a lot of people were talking about it, right? About the weird glitches and stuff. And when I created my character and went through the motion, I noticed that my created character, when she talks, sometimes her voice doesn't actually in sync with everything she's saying. And some of the NPCs around her do the exact same thing. So it doesn't bother me, not to a full extent. It doesn't bother me. Like stuff like that, it doesn't bother me because it's just one of those minor things. Because what people are saying, it has problems. It doesn't happen on every sentence they talk. It doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes when the NPCs do speak, it works. It doesn't happen consistently.
Go ahead.
So far, what I noticed, it doesn't happen all the time. I haven't experienced and stuff like that. Maybe just in his voice speaking or something like that. Maybe, yeah, that's true. But awkward glitches, I haven't experienced it yet. So maybe I'm not too far in the game. I'm only 6 hours in the game. So maybe I'm not too far in the game yet. But so far, within the 6 hours I've played, I haven't really even seen awkward glitches. But I've seen in-sync characters, though. My character would talk, or the writer, or my character, your character's last name is Ryder. Your father or whatever, he says awkward things or whatever that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't in-sync what he's saying. Or the little other chick that's with you all the time, the Caucasian girl with the blonde hair that's swift off to the side. Yeah, she has awkward moments, but like I said, I haven't experienced it. Maybe other people have, but I haven't really experienced awkward glitches. So
go ahead, Rambo.
What's up?
I said, go ahead.
No, when it comes to I know that you had brought up the YouTubers and stuff, but ultimately it's EA. They're the final say so on if that game gets released or not. So, granted, I mean, the YouTubers didn't say anything. But at the end of the day, it's still EA that actually gets to put the product out there, and it's their job to test their own shit. And so apparently they did not. or they had to meet a massive deadline. As far as I've not played the game, I've seen it. I do plan on, like I said, buying it used, as we talked about earlier. I'm not going to get back into that, the reasons why, but as far as like the game being patched, I don't agree with a game like a game needing to be patched day one or even close to day one to fix an issue that should have been in a final code. I do agree with patches because you are dealing with a digital medium, whether it be like Uncharted, like now, like all of a sudden as things go on, people will start learning exploits. So patches are needed in that sense to help fix a game. But as far as fixing a game that to run the way it should have ran day one, no, I think that's just pure greed from the company. To get a product out there to get the money off of it, basically sell it based on the word Mass Effect, and that's EA. I think this all screams textbook EA. As far as the glitches go, from what I've seen, I mean, like I said, I've only seen a few people play it, and I've seen the gifs and everything posted, and people say that. I mean, some people say it's not that big of a deal, like what he just said, and it's kind of a big deal to me because I mean, whenever that's a very story-driven RPG, and if it's a story-driven RPG, then I'm paying attention not only to the gameplay mechanics, but I'm also paying attention to the characters. I'm paying attention to everything because that's what immerses me into it. Is like the whole world.
But you know what the weird thing is, Skyrim was a massive.
I say Skyrim. It deserves every ounce of hate.
Skyrim.
Any.
Oh, we gotta go there now, huh?
Any Bethesda game that Bethesda actually made themselves and developed and produced deserves hate.
But even though you're saying that though, but Bethesda is probably one of the most top.
You need to turn up your mic a little bit though. You're fading out.
Hold on. I'm on my phone too, so
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me more louder or?
About the same, really.
Yeah, it's about the same.
I
just want you to be heard. That's all.
Yeah, I bought my Mass Effect on the PlayStation Pro day one. I didn't have any glitches. I didn't have any lip syncing issues. I live streamed it because I wanted people to see maybe it's me not seeing this or what was the case. But I went in expecting all these glitches and all these memes that were created. But I'm not the one to buy a game based on some bad memes and gifts and stuff like that. I want to try it for myself. So it was at least worth the rent. But I bought the game. And I've been enjoying it ever since. It hadn't given me any issues. The graphics are great. The story and gameplay is great to me. Like I said, I live streamed it. Friends saw it, and they were shocked because they said that they were expecting this trash of a game and stuff like that. And I actually communicated with some guys who were, bashing the game and trashing the game. And I asked them, well, I mean, why? What was going on?
Am I louder?
9 times out of 10, the guys hadn't even freaking bought the game, and they were trashing.
Am I louder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what you guys were saying after that because I was trying to get my headphones, but Bethesda games are not that bad. I understand they have major awkward issues.
Wait. No. Whoa. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you right there because Bethesda actually has came out and said that they are actually proud of the fact that they create games that the actual modders have to complete.
Well.
Like they know they release buggy games and problem games. The only way you can actually makes Skyrim fun is if it comes with mods, because of all the glitches and everything in that damn game.
Yeah, it is full of glitches.
I have Fallout 4 was like the biggest disappointment of any Fallout series, of the Fallout series, because they made it too casual.
Well, yeah,
I thought New Vegas was worse than that.
It wasn't as casual.
It was New Vegas. I didn't
slow. But New Vegas was, as far as like just the story goes, yeah. But I'm talking about like the actual gameplay of Fallout. Fallout 4 wasn't even a Fallout. Fallout 4 was basically just an action adventure game.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
and I absolutely,
but I love that game.
I platinumed it, but
I'm still playing it right now.
I refuse to ever go back and actually finish the actual DLC.
Far Cry is Bethesda too, right?
Far Cry, no, that
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, Ubisoft. Yeah, it's Ubisoft. Yeah.
And don't even, yeah, I mean, they have their own problems, but Bethesda,
Yeah,
I really don't know how Bethesda has ever been held into this kind of standard of, they make. I mean, I get that people enjoyed the game, and that's cool that you enjoyed it. Not going to ever doubt somebody's enjoyment level out of a game, but I guess each company has their own little set of fanboys, like Sony and Microsoft.
You know what, Rambo? Like I hate to cut you off, but like what I was trying to say was like I understand Bethesda is not the perfect RPG company like to make RPGs, but they're one of the top. They're like the Activision when it comes to RPG, when it comes to COD. They're like the Call of Duty of RPG. No. So you have to stop to think about it. Like
no, they're not.
Yeah, actually, they are, dude.
No, they're not.
Are. Okay.
No.
Look at where Call of Duty is now.
Okay, but you gotta understand where I'm coming from. Anytime, but
you're coming from a fan of you're coming as a fan of Bethesda games, which I understand that. I get that. I just don't understand the reason why you can't see that every one of their RPGs games have problems.
But let me explain to you. You gotta let me explain it first before you say something. Okay, the thing is, Skyrim wasn't perfect when it came out, such as Oblivion, such as Morrowind. None of those RPG games were perfect when they came out. But they sold so much money that who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like
what?
Okay, can you let me talk, dude? Don't say anything. Just listen. Okay, Skyrim.
Guys, calm down. This is not it's turned into the Irish podcast courtroom. Relax.
No.
Agree to disagree. Calm down.
No, I'm just saying. Just let me.
But you got to realize everybody got different opinions, though. I mean, you could love Bethesda, but somebody else may not like that. It's just like, people like different genres of games.
No,
so
I understand that.
We got to agree to disagree on even developers and stuff like that. We got to agree.
No, but
what I'm saying
is, what I was trying to explain was like I don't agree of what Bethesda does. Like Fallout 4 was shit. I'm not a fan of the Fallout series at all. I have Fallout 4, and I don't even remember the last time I played the game. That's just me personally. It was so horrible, shit glitches. Skyrim had bad glitches. It was very, very shitty on certain things. But I still enjoyed the game. It was fun to play, and that's probably the most played RPG game I ever played behind Elder Scrolls Oblivion. But when it comes to like games like Dragon Age or something like that, like Dragon Age 1 was like the only Dragon Age game I ever liked. Dragon Age 2 was horrible. Dragon Age Inquisition, I put like 2 hours in and got sick of the game. It was boring. Like it's boring. It didn't suck you in.
Okay.
But
go back. Are you done? I don't want
to. No. I'm almost done. And like I said, Bethesda is not a perfect company, but they're so popular to the point where, like, that's what I was trying to get you to understand is, I understand what you're saying, that like look at what Call of Duty is, but Activision is well known just as much as Bethesda. Even though Call of Duty sucks, people still buy it every year. Just like how certain Bethesda games are really bad, like Fallout 4, but people still buy it because it's more of the. It's just like anytime somebody put like Elder Scrolls in the middle of the title, people will buy it. Just like people put Call of Duty in the middle of the title, they'll buy it. So that's what I'm saying. It don't matter how much problems the game has, people still buy it. Modern Warfare was probably the most hated Call of Duty game of all time, and people still bought the game. Not because of COD 4. There are some people who legitimately bought it because they actually obsessed with Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm trying to get you to understand is no matter how bad people can hate this company like Activision or Bethesda or EA, people are still going to buy these games. Like Battlefield fanboys. Battlefield 1 is fucking boring, and people still play it.
I know that you said that, but you basically said, I mean, you talked about how Bethesda makes great RPGs and how every single one of those RPGs that you listed off, every single one of them are full of bugs and glitches.
I think I can find the
problems.
common ground between.
But you got to remember,
wait a minute. Hey, come on now. You asked me.
Come on, Demetrius, give him his time.
I can barely hear you too. So
but you asked me to give him talk.
Yeah, let him talk because you
your
your time.
reasoning was that because they sold so well. Well, that right there should even be fucking worse because that means that they sold so well that they should have been able to dump that extra money that they had into the next one and actually fixed it and made it actually complete.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're 100%
But
correct.
to give them a pass because the game was fun?
No, I don't give them a pass
not,
for that. No, that's stupid. I don't give them a pass for that. I think it's just stupid. When it comes to like me, I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan. I've been playing the shit since Elder Scrolls Morrowind. I don't know how long
that's
you've
fine,
been playing it, but I've been playing it since 2002.
But then admit that the Bethesda doesn't make great RPGs. They just make
I never
them fun.
said they didn't. You know, I never said I never said in any time that I don't agree anything. I think a lot of stuff they've done to the RPG, the aspect of the game is fun, but the glitches and the bugs are stupid as shit. That's what I'm saying.
The way I look at it, I mean, the way I look at it is look at CD Projekt. Yeah, just a minute. The CD Projekt Red, independent company. Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3. Sure. I mean, there was some glitches as far as like him falling to the floor, whatever. They fixed it. They did everything. But that's an independent company capable of doing more top quality work than Bethesda, multi-billion-dollar company.
Right.
And I can't get out of my head that somebody's trying to justify that all these glitches in a game from a multi-billion-dollar company that has plenty of money to actually put into an actual game to complete it without the bugs. But they actually pride themselves on the fact that they allow the modders to finish the damn game.
That is sad, and but that's the thing. A lot of people like Skyrim because, like, think about this here. You played The Witcher. I'm gonna tell you why people like Skyrim so much in the Elder Scrolls series, and it goes back to and it goes exactly right back to what I was coming from. Skyrim is like Call of Duty. It takes no skill to play. It is so simple to level up. The level up cap is so easy. You can break the game just like people do in COD. It is very easy. It takes no skill to level up on Skyrim. And I don't care who fanboy would say this, it really does not. Compared to like games like Dragon Age, or if you compare like Diablo or Dark Souls. Dark Souls takes skill, just like Battlefield kind of takes skill until they implemented Battlefield 1, which is a reskin Star Wars Battlefront. But Dark Souls takes skill. So a lot of people like games that are easy nowadays. You got to remember that too. People don't have patience anymore like they used to. So games like Skyrim will sell. I don't know how much Dark Souls 3 sold. I know it sold.
No, I get that it was outsell it, but it was kind of like I thought it made it sound like you were kind of justifying because their inadequacies.
I'm justifying of what other people think, not what I think. I have my own reason. I'm thinking about. You got to look at the eyes of like a kid or a consumer or something like that, how other people think of, and don't understand, okay, well, Skyrim be this way and Skyrim and other people think it that way. Like you probably like the game, but you understand the problems with it. Like fanboys will still deny of what the problems can be. Like Skyrim had an issue back in the day where they had that skeleton key glitch where you pick up the skeleton key from Homeboy from the Thieves Guild and the skeleton key wouldn't be there. And people, complained about it to Bethesda, and it took them over 2 months to patch that glitch. Why would it take you 2 months to patch that? You know what I'm saying? But that's the issues, and people still defended Bethesda.
Yeah,
but I complained about it, and that's my problem. But I still like Skyrim. I still like Elder Scrolls. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. But I can address the issues.
Anybody got anything else to add to that? If not, we got 3 more topics. So
I think Young wanted to say something. I think.
Yeah. For the common ground between. Well, from what I'm hearing and what I'm understanding, I think the common ground between Rambo and you, Demetrius, is that you, Demetrius, you like the concept more so than how the game plays and looks. And in Rambo, you like more how the game looks and plays over the concept. I'm not saying this is it, but would that be the general concept between the two?
Yeah, I mean, me for myself personally, I love the story to Elder Scrolls. If you look up through the lore of Elder Scrolls, that shit is fucking amazing. It's just as good as Lord of the Rings. But I love the gameplay of it. I like it. Like, the gameplay is fun. Like, when they fixed, Skyrim's been out for like 5 years. So, even the Legendary Edition, the new edition they made for Xbox One and PS4, whatever, it doesn't really have glitches. I mean, you could still do the key glitches, or you could still do infinite gold glitches. You can still do that stuff. So I'm glad, a lot of people are glad that Bethesda didn't take it out, because if you actually go on YouTube, Bethesda didn't take out any of the exploits because people are going to complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to complain about the exploits. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, but the thing is, though,
that goes with any game, though.
Right, but that goes for any game. But Skyrim is like, that's the only RPG game I ever played that had that many exploits. Like, I don't even remember Oblivion had that many exploits, or Morrowind. You know what I'm saying? And you can do stuff like that, but I don't recall Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls. I don't recall them having exploits. I don't recall Dragon Age even having exploits. But that's just the way it is, and people like things easy and things that take no skill.
Yeah, actually,
think about that.
Yeah, Titanfall. Actually, whenever we move on, if we actually have enough time at the end, I'd actually like to bring up that whole easy part.
Well, I was gonna. That was a good subject. That we could do that towards the end. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
before we move on, because I was gonna actually make a comment on that, but let's save that as a small little topic on the side, because that is something that should be discussed. We're gonna move on, but before we do, I want to acknowledge one of our members who couldn't make it. He is in the chat. We got to say hi to HP, everybody.
HP.
Okay. HP. Yep, he's there. And we also have two members that were able to make it. They made it late. So I just want to I want to say hi to Young Cease and let everybody know he's here. And Craig Harris. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next subject. Okay. This is one now. Bear with me. It's something that I actually didn't want to do, but I think it needs to be done because it was brought up and it came out about gaming and YouTube. Okay. So let me get through this and my thoughts and what I want to say, and then you guys can chime in. Then you guys can jump in. Okay. Like I said, honestly, this topic, I really didn't want to discuss it. And here's the reason: because people can't agree on three things in life: religion, politics, and race. They can't do it. You talk to people, and it's always an argument of some sort, generally. Okay, except tonight we did good when it came to politics. We did all right. We didn't argue. We said we're going to save it for another genre, but that's cool. First group I've ever been around not to have that happen. But anyway. The one thing I'm getting tired of, what it is about people saying about YouTube, people having white privilege. Okay. All right. So all right. Now, the one thing I get tired of is people making a big deal out of race. Okay. Come on, people. It's 2017. Get over yourselves. All right. So I'm going to offer my thoughts on something people have talked about the entire week. And then I'm going to ask the panel their opinion. Okay. So the Irish podcast was started as a gaming podcast, and that's what it is, okay? I'm bringing this up only because people are talking about in gaming. I don't care what race you are, where you come from, what religion you are, or anything. If you play games, okay, and you know your shit, you're welcome here anytime. But moving on from that, me being white, okay, has not helped me in gaming or on YouTube whatsoever. I don't get any review copies. I don't get extra viewers. I don't get free games, money, or anything, okay? Everything I've done on my channel, I literally had to jump through hoops to get it done, and I still have to jump through hoops to get it done. So I hope you all understand where I'm coming from, okay? It has been hard for me, and it continues to get harder, but I don't give up easy. I'm tough, okay? My question is to you guys, okay? Now, before I ask the question, I'm not going to say that white privilege doesn't exist in certain areas, because yes, I've seen it. Okay, so I'm not going to say it does not exist in some instances, okay? But in gaming, I don't think it has nothing to do with gaming. Do you guys think race plays a role in the gaming community on how successful you are on YouTube or in the gaming community as a whole? That's the question. Does it play a part?
No.
All right.
In the gaming community on how successful you are on YouTube or the gaming community as a whole?
Young, you go
Absolutely
ahead. Yeah.
not. See, here's the thing with YouTube. It matters. It doesn't matter your female, male, gender, age, or anything. What matters is if what you put up is original and keeps somebody interested. That is the basis on YouTube, is to make videos that people are interested in watching. It doesn't matter what you look like or anything like that. And if you're self-conscious of what you look like, you can always just not have a face cam on when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. And on YouTube, there are plenty of Black, Asian, Mexican, white, all races that are successful. So I don't see where this is coming from.
Well, give you a little background. Is it okay if I give him a little background on where this actually started, Nancy?
Go right ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
you guys got the floor now.
Well, I know you don't like to mention names, but I'm not going to mention names in a negative light. I'm just going to mention exactly how this actually came about. Colin Moriarty, y'all know who he is. It's Kind of Funny Games.
Okay.
He started he got kicked off of Kind of Funny Games, or left Kind of Funny Games, but he basically started in the industry. He actually worked himself up from 14 years old all the way up to lead editor at IGN. Ended up leaving IGN and starting Kind of Funny Games with this guy named Game Over Greg. And they basically were a PlayStation podcast, or like the PlayStation podcast as far as PlayStation information goes. It was actually a place where everybody actually had a lot of fun. He made a joke on Twitter, ended up causing problems. He ended up basically splitting up from them and then starting his own little channel where he's basically going to be talking politics and history. Well, he started a Patreon, and he's white, obviously, but he started a Patreon, and he ended up going from I think in 13 hours, I think he got up to like $30,000 a month in donations. And a particular somebody, Heart 8, decided to tweet out saying that the only reason he got his money up to that, and the reason why the Weapon Wheel podcast hasn't got theirs up to $30,000 is because he's white.
But
and
I was like, base
yeah, I was like,
when he was on.
Exactly. I was like, it couldn't have anything to do with how long that he's been in the industry, or the people that he knows, or the fact that he's actually going to be talking politics, which is a very lucrative place right now if you actually are well versed in it and know what you're talking about. It couldn't have anything to do with that. And I actually asked Heart 8, I was like, I got blocked by this because I gave him that comment, is that you go to, like, say, KSI's channel. KSI is a very successful Black YouTuber. I actually enjoy his content. But
he's funny.
Yeah, he does his thing. And I think that if you are the only time that, well, race never comes into an issue with me as far as like who I like and who I don't like.
It's basically originality.
But I mean, Hard Date, if you go to his channel, I mean, he does his thing. I'm not knocking his thing. He can do whatever the hell he wants to on his channel. That's his channel and whatever. But he has his way about it. Whereas he talks, and quite frankly, this is not saying that he talks like he's from the hood is nothing about race, because I live in the hood myself and I'm white. So, but it's just like the way that everybody talks around my neighborhood. All the white, Black, Mexicans, everybody talks this way. It's just, I think it's more of the lower income.
It's basically just the environment.
Yeah, it's the environment that's how he carries himself on his channel, which is cool. That's fine. But you're only going to appeal to a certain demographic in that, or a certain area, a certain people.
This point, if he leaves Weapon Wheel and starts his own podcast, the people who like him are gonna come and watch the podcast that he makes. It's the same deal with that guy you were talking about with Kind of Funny Games.
Right.
He left, but the people who enjoy his content are gonna come and follow him. It's right. Like the Iron Wolf and Titanfall. When y'all left Xbox, people gave you hate, but some people still enjoyed you and came over, right?
But the thing is, yeah, they did. But I got a lot more people but the thing is with that, I never left Xbox. I still played my Xbox. It's just that they weren't putting out games anymore.
She just wasn't an Xbox focused channel anymore.
You just
I just wasn't focused on Xbox anymore. I started to bring in because PlayStation started showing me more, and I got PlayStation 2, 3, and 4. So I got them all, and I got the Nintendo stuff too.
Okay, so
definitely.
So when it comes to when it comes to this whole white privilege thing,
Go ahead.
I know I'm a white guy, and I know it's going to be kind of quote unquote rich for me to have this opinion, but no, it does not exist at all. And the reason why, whenever you say white privilege, you are implying that every white person has a privilege. Now, when you say that white privilege exists in certain areas or certain aspects or certain situations, that's not white privilege. That's just called biases.
Yeah.
That is not white privilege. That is a social name put to it to give them somebody a reason to blame something.
The only reason why I said it that way.
Yeah, no.
Idiots don't understand.
Yeah.
Now you're explaining it in the way, but I had to explain it to people because they don't know how to be politically correct when they state things or use the right words.
Right.
That's
so
why I said it that way.
Definitely.
Right. So
like I'm black, and I don't think racism has any part in YouTube, to be honest.
I think that like say if me and another black person were going up against a job, and the person that we were actually applying with happened to be have some sort of bias against black people, then yeah, I'm going to probably get the job over them based on that person's biases, but not because of some sort of privilege. Because if we were to take that same situation and go to a different area, it might not work the same way. So that wouldn't be white privilege. That would just be that one person's biased.
Before you continue, there's one thing I got to say, because you mentioned, his name on the channel. I just want people to know, that was your opinion of Heart 8. I have no issues with Heart 8. That was his opinion of what he thought. No. I want people to know that it's in the chat, so nobody says that I said something I never said, because people have done that to me before. Because somebody else on my podcast said something. TitanFallPrincess agrees with everything. Now, I don't have no issue with Heart 8.
Oh no, that was purely my thing. And Dad Boy, I know you just said that Heart 8 should roast me, and that's fine. I mean, he probably will if he does it on my channel. But the one thing that I actually got on him is the fact that whenever I actually tried to have a conversation with him, he'd block me. He silenced me rather than actually have the conversation. So,
but what I'm saying is that's
me. That's solely with me. Yes.
Right. All right.
That's the reason why I wanted to preface that before I mentioned his name, that it wasn't.
I appreciate
me.
But I appreciate it.
When it comes to the YouTube thing, no, I think that if you put out, say if you put like KSI, you put PewDiePie. I think there's actually been a couple of times where PewDiePie, we're talking like the most subscribed person, the most watched person for the most part, and KSI, another successful black YouTuber, but he's actually had sometimes more successful fundraisers than what PewDiePie has had. So I mean, it really has nothing to do with your race or anything like that. It has everything to do with the fact of what type of content you're putting out and who's just watching you at the time. If people don't find your content interesting, it's not because of your race. It's because of your content, the actual content.
Exactly, your originality and content.
I think if you're blaming race off of that, then you're just not. You have no self respect as far as being able to admit whenever you're wrong or something's wrong with you. I think
they're just not educated.
Yes, yeah, true. But I think at this point, I think that if you're a grown man or a grown woman, there should be no reason why you should not be educated in the fact that to be able to look at yourself and be your own worst critic.
Yeah, that's true. But some people don't have it in themselves to know when to call out their own bullshit.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to the individual, the being able to do that. But I really wish that doesn't ever get into the gaming world or the YouTube gaming world, because
hopefully not.
I mean it just look at the channels that have popped up. I mean, you had BG, that's what, like at 80-some thousand, I think it was on the Weapon Wheel podcast channel. But it was his channel before they turned it into the Weapon Wheel podcast channel. But I mean, there's people that have like criticized him, thinking that his content's boring. But then there's also people that said that it's fun. But yet that's 80-some thousand, and here there's some white people there that quote unquote don't have.
They don't even have 1,000.
They don't even have 1,000. And so, I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with race, because if it did, that means there would be almost every white YouTuber would be
That's true.
higher than the other.
And that's
the only
and
reason
then
why
there's
I brought it up, because it was a stupid comment for people. And it was quite a few people that made the comment. It wasn't just one person. A lot of people said shit about it. And that's what I was trying to say. You know, I know there's one person I don't like, and he's a white YouTuber, and he begging for money all the time, and and people put money in his Patreon, and then they take it out because he don't do what he's supposed to. Well, if you're not gonna do what you do for your Patreon,
you can go.
if you're not gonna do it the right thing, then you're not gonna get the views.
Exactly.
Because it's a 50-50 partnership between the creator of the content and the watcher of the content. If you're not holding up your 50 end of the deal, then the watcher is going to take their 50 out. So then you're left with 0 at the end, basically. And you either continue on with the dead channel or you just give up.
I mean, it's all really, especially YouTube is like one of the most level playing fields, I think, when it comes to that.
Everybody has a fair chance.
Before you continue, somebody just made a comment in the section. They asked me, Jack Move or Hardy. I don't have a problem with either one of them. Okay, and so there is no choice. Okay, you're going to ask me that question. I don't have a choice there. Don't ask me to pick sides because I'm not doing that. What goes on between them two is between them two. I'm not choosing sides, and I'm not going to be putting that. So
yeah, I say quit trying to cause
fights. I just want
fights.
to answer them.
But exactly, yeah, Silent Night.
Quit trying to cause
guys, fights. Continue.
Yeah, no, I just think that like that they've created a platform that is very, very your work ethic, basically based on your work ethic. Because like a lot of people think it's really easy to sit on your ass and make YouTube videos, but
no, granted, it is not.
I mean, granted, it is.
Yes, sometimes
it is to a degree.
It is
to a degree, but at the same time, is that I mean, it doesn't matter. You can make all the videos you want. That doesn't matter. That's the easy part. The hard part is actually making videos that people want to watch. And that's the only way that you're ever going to make it on YouTube. So the people that have actually made it on YouTube have actually put in the work. And it's a matter. It's definitely a level playing field of how much work you're going to put into it. And then just all that, then it goes back to just public appeal. If you not so much about like your I don't think your skin color, but like the actual content you're putting out. Like I find some people just like boring as all get out, but they have actually made it really big. And
it's crazy. Along with that note, it's just like a podcast. I started my podcast. It also depends on the members you have, of how successful your podcast is going to be. It depends on the members and the topics and how we discuss them and what we bring up and what we say and do in the podcast.
Yeah.
Do we have fun?
That's why the biggest thing.
Do we laugh? Do we joke? Do we, and we picked on each other at times. And they like that shit. All in fun because we get along. So it goes back into, it's the same thing as a podcast. To make a podcast successful, you have to have the right people and the right content.
That's why the biggest thing you can do to make your YouTube life easier would be collaboration. And that's probably the biggest thing I could say.
That's actually if you actually get the lucky enough to actually find a bigger channel to collaborate with you.
Although you can't just rely on them because they're gonna have their following. Yeah, you can't rely on a bigger YouTuber so that you can grow to be at the same level as that big YouTuber because it won't work out.
Well, no, because I mean, look at me. I do a podcast like with Rags, and like you were talking about him, but he has like a little over 200,000 subscribers. But I have 514. So I mean, I'm not doing it to benefit. I'm not collaborating with him on that podcast to benefit from his subscribers. But we just happen to have I guess a pretty good dynamic going. But that I would
mean,
never,
if you got something good going with another person, then by all means, keep it
but
going.
I mean, no, I'm just saying I would never look at his success and go, how come I'm not getting that? Because it has to be because, it has to be his fault. He's doing something or not doing something or whatever like that. It's my fault if I'm not as successful as him because he just happens to be putting out content that people like. Granted, I mean, tomorrow
what he's doing.
it could all change for him tomorrow. You know, that's one thing about YouTube is that
that's the thing. It could change for anybody.
You're never guaranteed a spot on here, and anybody who goes into YouTube thinking that you're guaranteed a spot or that you deserve something.
Yeah, definitely.
You're definitely looking at it through the wrong lens. Whether you're black, white, Asian, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
YouTube, the best thing you can do is pray. Honestly, you don't even got to pray on a religious level. All you got to do is just pray and hope.
Just hope that you come across that one video that's going to put you on the map.
Like you can set a goal for yourself, but it's up to everybody else if you reach it or not.
Yep.
See, and the only reason why I brought this subject up is because when I even do my streams, I got people. You can go back and look at my streams if you can see the comments, and you'll see all the racism that goes on and what people say. I'm tired of that.
Oh, well,
even talk about the people I got on my podcast and everything else. These people are rude and nasty.
There are race. I'm definitely not going to ever say that. There aren't racists out there, or that people won't watch a certain YouTuber because they're black or because they're Asian or whatever. I'm never going to say that. Because
I've had people get mad at me
stupidity.
Because I had black members on my panel.
Yeah, I mean,
so
what?
I was just say they're probably
stupidity exists.
Of that.
I mean, the ignorance like that exists in our world, definitely. Do I think it's the end all be all is the reason why people are or are not successful? No. I think they've done a census thing, and it shows like the KKK, like the main I guess source of white supremacy or whatever is like around 3,000 members. So if you look at the grand scheme of things, like they're a very insignificant portion of the United States right now, and than what they used to.
Oh, definitely.
Well, that's also because you're not gonna get millions of people to admit that. That they're part of something. I mean, come on.
Well, no, I still would. I mean, racism is not anything. It's out there, but it is nothing to the level of what it used to be.
Oh, definitely not.
It is not.
Everything is over the internet mostly now. Like,
I find that too. Yeah. I find that more of the obviously if you
really touches real life is when you're talking about business and politics and the judicial system. That's pretty much in real life where you see it.
Yeah, but see that's also the biggest part of racism, because those are that plays.
That's where the money comes in.
That's where the money. That's a huge factor.
Yeah, that's when the money comes.
What neighborhoods get
But again, I don't
for schools and stuff. I mean, I don't want to. It's I think we all agree that racism does not determine how successful you are on YouTube or in gaming. I mean, that's it. We all agree.
Well,
let's go to the next.
Because
I think we're slowly getting ourselves back into like
let's not go to politics. Let's not go back. Let's get back. All right, now it's party gaming. Let's move on, okay? Because this is a good subject, okay? I don't know if you guys know, but there was a list.
Save this subject for
another time. Yeah, we could do this in private. There was a list of NeoGAF that was leaked, showing off a list of rumored games to be shown off at Sony's E3.
Ooh.
Now, on that list was Resistance 4. But like I said, this is a rumor. I take it with a grain of salt. But I'm going to tell you something. If Resistance 4 is really being made, I think that would blow me away this E3. Now, did you guys see the list? Did you guys see the list? And what do you think about it? And what are your thoughts?
Well,
take it away, guys.
It was already proven to be false. NeoGAF, NeoGAF. They showed the original post, and it was two people talking back and forth. One person posted their original, that one that everybody was passing around, posted that picture, and people were asking him, "Is this real? Is this some sort of leak?" And he's like, "No, this is what I want to see at E3."
Yeah.
So this is basically his predictions of E3, and that's what his hopes and dreams were, is the Resistance 4 and stuff there. So
here's the thing, though. 90% of that list were games that we already know is in production and coming anyway. So let's take Resistance out. Let's take the the Crash out. Okay, so those are the three games: the Crash Racing, and the other Crash, and this Resistance. Let's take that off the table. So that means we have the rest of the games that we know are in production. We've seen video of, or it's already been confirmed.
Days Gone, Spider-Man, God of War 4.
Even by taking Resistance off the table, let's take the two Crashes off the table. That's still one hell of a lineup that it's almost impossible to overtake.
Yeah, then you also got to throw Last of Us 2 on there, because that Last of Us 2 ain't even on that list.
Exactly. And then Detroit Becomes Human is not on the list. There's a ton of games that aren't on that list. So just looking at that list, I mean, it already gives you goosebumps. And I just don't see no company being able to
Death Stranding.
Yes. All those other games that weren't even on the list. How can you counter that? How can you possibly? Spider-Man. I mean,
well, Jay, they're gonna counter it
Days
with 6
Gone.
teraflops.
Well, for E3, all I know is that if Sony opens up with another amazing orchestra, you got me right there, man, because that was amazing last year.
Man, when they started playing that God of War, I was like, oh shit.
Exactly, bro. If they got the orchestra there again, you already got me hooked.
Dude, I wanted to pass out, man. That shit was ridiculous. And then they followed it up with PlayStation Experience. I mean, that was another fanning spell. So I don't know, man. If Sony doesn't release, or if they don't announce any new games, just with the lineup that they're already working on and they've already announced,
or if they save all the new games for Experience at the end of this year, that would be amazing.
That's true. That's possible, because you got to think about it. They got Tokyo Experience, they got PSX, and they got Gamescom and other little events that they're at that Microsoft is that
would actually probably be smarter, because they show the lineup that they have right now, and then let PC and Xbox and Nintendo and all them show all their new games off first, and then PlayStation comes at the end and just blows all of them out the water. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, so I can see them announcing, here's gameplay for Spider-Man, here's gameplay for Days Gone or something like that, and they'll announce. To be honest,
everybody wants to see more gameplay of those games.
Well, we want release dates at this time. I think at E3 we'll finally get a release date.
We want
at least a release window. Give me at least a window.
Yeah, like a couple months.
Yeah, I think their problem, honestly, is it could be a little bit underwhelming, because PSX was so well done and so well received.
Oh man.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we get some windows, and it's a Spider-Man game. I'm more interested in the I'd rather see some I want to see the God of War. I want to see some more open world gameplay on how
I want to see God of War, and honestly, I want to see what they do with Detroit Become Human. I want to see what they do with that game.
Yeah, I don't think that'll come out until next year, but yeah.
Don't, man.
Yeah,
I've been waiting on that damn game for so damn long. Ever since they showed it off. I mean, that's like
exactly.
I've been waiting to see that storyline. I want to be able to play.
I know that storyline looks amazing.
So with that list, with Nancy's question, we saw the list. Even if you take those 3 games off the list, it's still a juggernaut. It's still going to be almost impossible to beat. But when you add those games in there, and we do know that they're working on we do know that they're working on some stuff, probably pertaining to maybe Resistance or Killzone or something like that.
Well, you got.
If that is true, and they come out with another Resistance, or another Crash that's brand new and not a remake. I mean,
could you imagine them announcing SOCOM?
Oh well, yeah.
Hey guys, that was my next question.
That would be nuts.
That was my next question. What do you guys want to see from Sony at this E3?
I just want to see
SOCOM.
I would love to see SOCOM. But I would love to see what Sucker. Give me something about Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Project Orbis or something like that was on that list.
I want to know what the hell they're working on, because they haven't done anything since Infamous First Light. And
they're,
that really
they're not
wasn't.
gonna do another Infamous. You can. They're not.
No,
doing
Infamous. I think the Infamous storyline is actually going to continue. But now, is it going to continue
No, it's
with
gonna
Fetch, or is it
continue,
going to
but
continue
their
with?
next. Their
Oh, they're
next
not. No, their
game,
next
I don't
game is
think,
not. Yeah, their next
it's,
game is
it's
not
not
going to be
gonna be.
Infamous. No.
It's not gonna be.
And I just want to know what it is. What is it they're working on? I want to know that. That's like my biggest question right now for Sony is what is Sucker Punch working on?
Definitely.
Keep in mind, guys, Sony Studios, their studios tend to have multiple groups, so they have the manpower to make multiple games at a time. So
Oh yeah, I
keep
just think whenever it comes to Infamous,
but
the time frame between first
they need
and
some
now
work.
is
They
too
need
soon
some
for
work.
for another Infamous right now. I mean, I would trust me. If they announced an Infamous right now, I'd be all over it, man, because I
Yeah, me
love
too.
Infamous.
I played
love
all of them. I loved them all.
I got another question. And nobody shoot me. What do you want to see from Microsoft at E3?
anything.
Give me
Any game, anything.
Splinter Cell.
give me a reason to buy the Scorpio.
A Rambo, they gave you a
Thank
brand new, joystick.
Hey, you know what I want
Yeah.
to see? At least one game that will not be canceled. I want to see one game that will not be canceled.
Well, no, did y'all hear that Recore is getting a damn definitive edition?
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
What?
Okay. Yes, a game that sold that.
Really?
I think more people can actually fit in my house than actually bought that game.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't mind seeing a new, honestly, Nancy, Knights of the Old Republic. And there's another thing that's happening. People got to pay attention to is D23 because EA may announce their a new Star Wars game there. It could be a Boba Fett game or that 1313 or whatever game.
The only problem is the next Star Wars game is actually with Sony.
With Sony, yeah.
Well,
the Battlefront 2.
Yeah. But they're going to.
It wouldn't show.
You know what?
It wouldn't be
I
shown
like
off
to
at
see.
Microsoft's press
We're
conference.
talking about Microsoft's conference. We're talking about
Microsoft.
what game? Yeah.
What I'm talking about. You know what I'd like to see? I know it's not going to happen. I'd like to see another Sunset Overdrive because that game didn't get enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I like?
Should have gotten. That was a good game. You could still play that game.
The way it looks like is that Sunset Overdrive 2 is a very good possibility, but it will be the way that it sounded is it will be a multi-plat if it does come out. I honestly
that's a problem. That's a problem with them.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They launched it at the wrong time. They didn't give it enough hype. They have a problem with promoting games. They do not have a good group of people to just say, okay, these are the games and hype them. Sony does that shit. Sony will hype up fucking games that are coming out.
Oh,
here's the thing, though.
That's what makes me mad about Microsoft.
Sony will go ahead, Rambo. I'm sorry.
Well, I just real quick. I mean, now we have to remember now when it comes to these two companies, Sony and Microsoft can if Xbox was to never exist after tomorrow, like just no more sales, nothing at all, Microsoft would go on. If PlayStation if PlayStation was to cease to exist tomorrow, Sony would close. So so tell me, that's the only thing that's lucrative besides their music industry.
They got the music and TV and stuff.
Yeah, the TV and the other stuff isn't making them that much money. They're actually talking about selling off their movie side because their movie side isn't even making much money.
A portion of the movie side.
Sony has more invested in making sure that the PlayStation is a very profitable
definitely
product.
You can tell that.
No, I get what you're saying, but my thing is Microsoft comes out and they do this shit. They bring you the OG.
Yeah.
Which is okay. All right. Then they bring you the 360. Wow.
Yeah.
And they give you Xbox One. You don't rope people in and then drop off. You don't do that shit. That's wrong. That's how Sony's going to beat them.
Yeah,
I was actually having a conversation with Tim Dog on Twitter, and actually with Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer was in there talking. They were talking about bringing some Japanese games over and stuff, and having the variety. And Tim was basically.
The problem is people on the Xbox side don't like. They make fun of Japanese games. They don't know how to play them.
Here's the thing is that me and this other guy were basically saying that even if that they don't sell well, because Tim was like, well, Xbox guys don't buy them, and the market doesn't. So why even waste money to pay for them to come over here? I'm like, because they should still be on there. Like gamers, there's the gamers that own Xboxes and only Xboxes that want to play these games.
I'd buy them.
Yeah, I even
Like
told Tim, I said I would probably double dip on a lot of games.
Like some Xbox gamers do want to play
I know exactly
a lot of different type of games, but like if Xbox got like a game, like if they didn't get a game genre that they wanted, they would disrespect that game genre so much.
Yeah, the way I looked at I told Tim, I was like, I said, why are you looking at this from a
all right, hold on 1 second. I gotta tell Young C's this because it was in a comment and I can't let this pass by. Young C, somebody just said that you're kicked out of the Legion.
No.
In the comment section. I don't know who said it. I can't think of I gotta see who it is.
It's probably Carl or somebody trolling.
PS4 Master Race.
Oh, that's Brian. He's trolling.
Brian. Oh, he trolling? All right.
Yeah.
Don't stop trolling like that.
Well,
I thought he was being serious. They're gonna kick you out or something. Come on now, stop trolling, Brian.
Yeah, well, let me
ahead,
add to what you guys were just saying. Well, let me just add this real quick. I do a little short podcast where I've talked to 3 Xbox guys about and what it comes down to is what Rambo was saying about Tim Dog and things like that. It's not the Xbox community is more upset that they don't have the option to buy those games. Don't let those.
So they disrespect those games.
Well, I agree, but don't let them speak. Because the 3 Xbox guys I talk to, they not down with that whole thing.
But see, that's the thing, like you're saying, you can't let a small group of people ruin it for the people who like those games.
But that's the thing.
That's true.
Yes. That like it.
That's one of the things that I was trying to get to is that the people that sure, Phil Spencer and them actually do talk to people on Twitter. They do communicate more than like the PlayStation guys do. I would say. Which is good. I think that's great. But the only problem is that they are only talking to people like Tim Dog and
exactly.
Yeah,
the people that are basically that, like Tim was basically telling Phil, don't waste money getting these games from Japan. Get us something newer or whatever like that, or get us.
I'm gonna tell you, I talked to Phil Spencer myself in a chat. I had about 15 guys in there. These guys had no balls to talk to him. And I'm going to say it. They had no balls to talk to him. I brought up shit to him, little shit that we need. Like I brought up the upload studio needs to be fixed. Okay. We'll look into that. That was over a year ago.
I guess he's still looking.
All right.
He's still looking into it. I asked about YouTube. What do we get? Beam. Where's YouTube? I got Beam. I don't want no fucking Beam. It's like Twitch. Twitch sucks too. Get out of here with that shit. I talked to him, and let me tell you something. As soon as I said something, everybody goes, all the guys go, oh yeah, Phil, she's right. That upload studio. Oh yeah, we want YouTube. Yeah. All of a sudden they got balls. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Human being, talk to them.
Well, I mean they're letting a few of the gamers speak for the majority of the gamers, and I understand. And that's the problem is like that. There's no reason why an Xbox guy should not be able to play Neo, or even a PC guy be able to play Neo. I feel like those are third-party games.
Yeah.
Now I understand the reason why.
Because the Xbox branch of Microsoft, I feel they don't listen to their community. Like when the community brings up an issue, they let it linger for way too long, and then they might try and make a solution, but the solution ends up being a fail, which they should have put in like at least like a month or two after the issue has been brought up.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with
real quick before you get on that. There's only one thing I want to say. I appreciate that Phil will get in and talk to people, but as being that high up in the company, get your ass in a fucking boardroom and start putting games out and do the real shit, fix the shit that needs to be fixed. Stop talking to these dumbasses on YouTube all the time and getting in chat with them all the time. I did appreciate talking to them, but that's not the case. I'd rather see your ass in a boardroom.
Yep,
and that's
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Because when you said that they wanted newer Japanese games, why don't he take the time and go and make contracts with these Japanese producers and studios so that they can make newer Japanese games exclusively for the Xbox.
Well, that's what he did. That's what he did. He went to Japan to try to secure that, and he was actually talking about that. And Tim was actually replying, going, "It's a waste of time."
Yeah, I saw that. And
I was like,
when he took that briefcase.
Okay, but then the old principle time makes or practice makes.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Wait, you replied too, Jay?
People say
Yeah,
people
I did.
Said he did that.
I replied.
People say he did that, but let me tell you something. I said he took that briefcase over there. He had his PS3 in there. He went out to dinner with Yoshida, and him and Yoshida played Uncharted. Because he's been talking about Uncharted for how long? Probably gave his damn resume.
I replied to Phil Spencer once Tim made that comment, and I said, Phil, don't listen to these guys who are telling you not to do this. Here's the problem, okay? All of these Japanese RPGs and Japanese action games are available on the platform that's selling the most. People are leaving your platform, going over there because that's the only place you can play those games. Don't listen to the guys who haven't supported the stuff that you tried to bring, like the Rises, the Recores, the Quantum Breaks, the rest of the games, and the Sunset Overdrives. Don't listen to these guys because obviously it's not working. Try something new. And that's what Phil Spencer did. He went over there, he tried to secure some games, even if it's not for those handful of people who he's interacting with. That opens up the door for a person like me and the other people that have Xboxes that has dust on it, because these games are not available on that. You're basically forcing people who love these type of games. You're forcing them to go over to the PlayStation if they want a game, or they're gonna just have to sit there.
Here's my thing: if I was Phil Spencer and I went over there and I couldn't close on these deals with the Japanese studios, I would have then from that point tried my best to make Microsoft Japanese studio division over there instead of just closing deals. Just make one of your own so that you can produce these games out and people will come back or people will stay.
Yeah, Scalebound. We all know that was such a huge debacle because that game, everybody, even on the PlayStation side, these guys were waiting for that game. You had more PlayStation fans pissed than Xbox fans that game was canceled. That was the defining reason to buy that.
You're talking about that Scalebound.
Yeah, that is, and so when that game got canceled, that just solidified people on the PlayStation platform.
That was the icing on the cake.
That was the icing on the cake. That was almost like one of the only reasons to own a freaking Xbox at that particular time. If you're an Xbox guy, I mean, if you're a PlayStation guy,
Yeah, that was funny because I know some PlayStation people that I'm friends with that said, I bought, and everybody's like, well, why would you buy it before the game comes out? Well, you know what? First of all, people got bills to pay. People need to stop being retarded.
Well,
they got bills to pay.
Why would you buy it before the game is even confirmed?
Well, first of all, it was confirmed.
No. It was confirmed. It was. They waited
multiple times. It got delayed multiple times.
And it was 2 weeks before it was supposed to be released. 2 weeks. They said it's canceled. They just said the month prior it was coming.
Yep.
And 2 weeks before. So they went out and bought it 2 weeks before it was coming out because they figured, okay, well, now I got my next paycheck. I can buy the game. They got the console.
Guys,
that was the biggest blow to them this generation. Well, I won't say this generation, but that was the biggest blow to them, like, in that year.
We buy consoles in terms of future. When you buy a console day one, we all know, I mean, we can all agree that the first batch of games coming out is not going to be the premier games. It's going to be something that the developers got to rush and stuff like that. It's not going to show all the power. It's not going to, it took 3 years for the PlayStation to get to the point where now they can just throw out these juggernaut AAA games. It took that long. And that's why in the meantime,
it does take that long. You can't make a game in 6 weeks.
Microsoft tried to rush it.
Yes. And Microsoft tried. Well, and the end result proved what happens. But now at this stage in time, man, both platforms should be throwing out juggernauts left and right because all these developers had 3 years to know how this hardware is, to get every square inch of performance out of it. But it's like it's only happening on one side. It's not happening on the other side, and that's the biggest. The biggest downfall.
See, here's the
game, but you got to realize Microsoft's not only canceling games, they're closing studios, and they don't have as many studios. See, that's what we don't get. If
They actually
Sony,
only have 5 studios.
right? But
And
if
that's
Sony,
sad.
if Sony closes, if Sony closes one studio, it's not a big deal because they got a lot more. If Microsoft closes one, you're talking about 20%.
see,
out of 5.
see this is why
I think Sony has like 17.
Yeah, they have
But that's what I'm
17.
saying. So if they close one, it's not a big deal. Microsoft out of 5, they close one. That's 20% of games.
Well, that's actually just.
But see, here's the thing. This is why.
I mean, that's
My thing is, this is what I think. This is how I feel why they're closing and the downfall and all that stuff. So look, PlayStation 4, Xbox One comes out, right? PlayStation 4 gets that big boost up, and they're doing great, and they keep doing great, and they're doing great faster, and faster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Xbox, in a return to compensate, they try to rush the games out quickly, but it failed, and it backfired on them, and now they're losing customers and sales and all that stuff, and Sony's gaining them.
Yeah,
but the Xbox brand did it to themselves because they stopped putting out fucking games and started closing down studios.
Exactly.
You don't have to rush it. If you're gonna tell us we're gonna get these games, I'm gonna tell you, as an Xbox person that I play Xbox, if you tell me I gotta wait an extra 3 months or 6 months for a game, and it's gonna come out, or 3 or 4 games, but they're gonna be top notch, I'm gonna wait for those fucking games. Stop canceling them.
If Xbox took the time, they could have the potential to make a Tom Brady and pull a Super Bowl win in overtime.
There you go.
Well,
all right, guys, we're gonna move on a little bit because believe it or not, we're almost 2 hours, and I don't do a 2-hour podcast.
Oh man, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, we're gonna do one more subject before I do. I want to say something after this, but we're gonna hit on one more thing because we said we were gonna save it to the end, which is, and I agreed with this, which is how people just like easy games. I'm tired of people. I hear that all the time. I don't like nothing with puzzles in it because I don't like solving puzzles. I just want to go from waypoint to waypoint. I just want to run through it.
But what's
Why
the
would
meaning?
you just want? Exactly. Why would you want a game that is that easy and doesn't let you use your fucking brain? I'm sorry for cursing, but it makes me mad. But go ahead, take it away, because I know I forget who it was. Somebody wanted to talk about this.
It was me. I actually had a conversation. I don't know if y'all know this guy. His name is Mike the Truth or whatever on Twitter.
I think I've seen his page before. But I'm not sure.
He was actually having a conversation about Horizon Zero Dawn at one point, talking about he hates the melee system. He thinks it's actually a trash melee system or whatever, that it needs to lock on to the enemies.
That's like Bloodborne and
I said,
Souls.
I said, why on earth are you asking for auto lock or auto aim? I was like, it makes no sense. I said, I said, you are the reason why. What you're doing right there is exactly the reason why, like, PC gamers make fun of console gamers. It's because you're looking for that auto lock or that auto aim. I was like, because he was talking about going to PC.
Can I make a comment on that?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
See, okay, look, if you have auto lock or auto aim, then it's like you lose control of the character. Like, it's programmed to, like, when you play an RPG, you want to feel like you are the character. With auto lock, you lose that ability to feel like you are the player making the choices.
It becomes like a third-person shooter at that point.
Exactly.
But I told him, I was like, you're asking for the game to be easier, and he's like, no. He said auto lock doesn't make the game easier, and I was like, yes, it does. I was like, because then you don't even have to worry about control.
It really does.
That's so easy. You just put the auto lock
push a
on.
button.
Exactly.
You just push a button.
Exactly.
Your character just
goes
goes
no
wherever.
skill.
And I said,
to do auto lock. No.
I said the melee system is perfectly fine. And then to top it off, he actually starts playing Nier Automata. And Nier, if anybody's played Nier yet, you'll go into the world and you can get, if you don't go to these save points that are in the world and actually beat the enemies that are around the save points and then save your game, then you can go, if you don't do that, you can go an hour, 2 hours into the game, and if you die, you're back at the actual start screen.
Yep.
Yeah. I got
Yes.
And he was he actually said after 40 minutes of playing that he died and went back to the start screen, and he is not going to play it again because he said that is a trash game, that it should auto save for him. And I was like going,
What?
I said, what are you? I said you are asking for just
Casual confirmed.
Saving,
Yes.
look, saving literally takes seconds of your time. Why are you sitting here saying you should autosave?
What I'm thinking is like when you
Casual
know
gamer.
it's yes, it tells you how to save the game, and if you have not done that, that is your fault. But why even ask for an autosave to where because then there's no your whole play style is different, because if there's autosave, you're just running down enemies or whatever, and you're thinking, well, if I die, guess what? I'm going to start right back here, and I'm going to be right here. But now, whenever you don't have an autosave feature,
something like that, with oh my God, somebody just said something, and I was getting ready to go off. No, because how dumb are you? You can't save your own game. It tells you in the beginning. Every game usually tells you in the beginning how to save your game. And then you're going to see, this is what I don't like, because you don't know how to play the game is trash. No, because you don't have skill. Like somebody said, casual, they don't know how to play the game. They're not hardcore. They don't like challenges. So it's a trash game. If it got puzzles in it that you got to solve to get to the next level or something.
I come from the old school where it was basically you either passed it or you went back to the start screen, and I applaud games like Nier and stuff like that actually implement these type of things, or even like Neo, or it's a very brutal game because of the fact of it actually requires skill.
Yes,
too many games have gotten away from.
But here's my thing: if a game offers you like not even really offers you, if it has a place set specifically for you to save, that obviously means that you should save there, because what's coming ahead is possibly going to kill you. It's kind of like God of War. Like, they have an autosave, yet they still have places in each level where you save, because there's either a boss fight or ways
basically
of
what he wanted
coming out.
What he wanted was a God of War style thing where it autosaved. It had the autosave feature, and it also, he said it could still keep the save feature that's in the world, but yet still have that autosave feature for those that forget to autosave or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, going,
how can you forget to save? You walk past the places all the time.
I'm just thinking to myself.
And here's my thing. It's okay if you skip one save because you feel like you're gonna beat what's coming up next, but you should still save at least every 2 or 3 save spots.
Yeah.
This is how you can tell that.
Let me tell you something. You know what pisses me off? These are grown-ass men talking about this. I know somebody.
Exactly.
And it happens to be 7th level son. He's 16 years old, 8th. He beat Neo, okay?
He platinumed it, I think.
And platinumed it in 4 days. And that was going with school, too. Damn. 4 days he did it. That's the only game he played. He did his homework and he just played the game. Did the homework. In fact, when he platinumed it, I was actually was doing the stream, and he announced it that Saturday night. He got it Tuesday and he platinumed by Saturday night. And this is a 16-year-old kid.
Here's the
thing. That's something that most of these people don't have is commitment.
Well, it's the new age gamer that don't remember the days when we had to leave the NES on all freaking night.
I remember that.
All week until we got a chance to play the game again. Because if you turn that puppy off, you got to start all the way back to the beginning. There was no such thing as save. So this is how you can tell. It's a bunch of new casual gamers that if your expectation is for the game to automatic save for you, then
it's not even automatic save though, guys. What about the people who say, well, I don't like to do a puzzle in a game to get past. I don't like to figure shit out. I just want a map to tell me to go from here to here, there.
That's the pure.
That's not gaming.
They basically want a tutorial through the whole game.
Yeah, they want you to hold their hand. That's not gaming. Exactly. I don't want nobody to hold my hand. I want a game. I want to figure shit out. I love puzzles.
That's you.
Now people laugh at me. I could do people can't do it, but I could do Sudoku puzzles on hard. All right.
Oh, then you would
3D
love
that
Mass
shit out.
Effect because you have to solve those type of puzzles.
I love Mass Effect.
See, the thing
Yeah, they've got
about
those type puzzles on there, Nancy. You love it.
See, like, what is gaming about? You escaping reality so that you can go in and do your own thing. If you're letting the game tell you what to do every point of the game, you're not gaming.
Facts.
You're just playing an
Oh,
interactive
God.
movie at that point.
Exactly. You're playing an
Exactly.
interactive movie.
It's
Like-
crazy. I don't like. I had so many people tell me that shit, and I'm like, that you're not a real gamer. Because
Like,
a
if I
real
wanna-
gamer wants a challenge. They want to be able, like, you know, like when I play. Trust me, there are times when I'm not doing streams, and sometimes I'm doing streams. I'm cussing at that screen. Oh, you bitch! I'll get your ass cut. You know, I'm fighting or doing something. I mean, I'm literally yelling at the TV.
Like, here's my thing.
Because-
If you want someone to, if you're sitting there just listening to someone tell you what to do, you might as well be at a job or at school or something like that.
I
Like,
can't do that. I can't do that. I can't.
Like, you're just sitting here letting someone just tell you what to do 24/7. Like you come home from like work, you just got done from someone telling you what to do all day long. You get on the game just to do the same thing. That makes no sense.
See, now for me, I get on a game when I come home from work and or I went shopping or somebody bothered me that day or I got ignored, and especially when I play fighting games or beat 'em ups or anything like that or hack and slashes,
Yeah.
I look at the enemy like if your boss pissed you off that day, well, that's my boss. I'm kicking my boss's ass now. I get to fuck you up, bitch. You know, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I take my aggression out in the game. And it calms down and says, okay, I whooped your ass now. Now what you gonna do?
Like, I absolutely hate tutorials and instructions and shit, man. Like just hearing someone say that they rather have tutorials just pisses me off.
You know what's crazy when you get a game and you have to go through a tutorial to get
Yes.
forward? Oh my god, it's like I know this already. I know what button to hit. God damn it, I don't need to do this. And you waste like 20 minutes to do that, and you're like, I know how to play already. I know.
Like
just let me play the
Skyrim,
game.
I am so tired of that first mission in Skyrim. I am sick and tired of that mission. Like, forget Helgen. Let me skip it.
Yeah.
When I just heard that him said that, I just was floored because I couldn't believe, like, somebody was, it really brought back a whole lot of memories, like as far as like PC gamers always like saying, you know, console gamers are casuals and stuff like that. And whenever he said that, I was like,
well, see,
definitely not.
I know
that's
that it's not true. But what I'm saying is that when I hear that, I'm like going, you're the type of person that these PC gamers have been talking to.
But see,
But see,
Like-
my thing is, to get those PC people, I got a lot of PC people. I got friends that play on PC and play on console as well, or just PC. Okay, and they come to my streams and we talk, we get in chat, we do whatever. Okay, I don't like the ones that do that stupid master race and call us peasants. I'm a hardcore. Look at my trophies. Look at my gamer score on Xbox. I game. You look at my video collections. I didn't even put them all up there yet. Go back and look at my videos. I game. Okay, I'm not no little casual person. Okay, if you want to talk about casuals, then say the word. You casuals are just fucking bitches. You don't know how to play games.
PC,
Just like I'll say to PC.
I
I don't have a problem with PC people. If you enjoy it, hey, if that's the way you want to play, go for it. Just like if you want to play an Xbox, go for it. You want to play on Nintendo, go for it. You want to play on PlayStation, go for it. I have no issues with nobody where they play. As long as you game and you can talk about gaming and your experience, that's all that matters. That's
like
all
PC,
that matters to me.
PC fanboys are so hypocritical. Like,
Yeah, but you can't just talk about that. Wait, no, you can't just talk about that because you got to go to the Xbox side too, and some of those PlayStation.
Well, they are too.
And so it's all fanboys in.
But yeah.
You got to say that it's fanboys on all sides. You got them.
Fanboys on all sides.
Yes.
Are really hypocritical. Like just for instance, I'm gonna talk about PC here, but just for instance, like last week when you said because PlayStation games are on PlayStation now that PC owns PlayStation, but PC games are on PlayStation. So by your logic, does PlayStation own PC? And then you just said, what did you
Exactly.
say? And then just now you said that PC. Wait, fuck. I just forgot it. What did you say?
Sorry.
I forgot it.
I'm sorry. I was laughing. I'm sorry because the way you said that was funny as hell. Because you're right though. You can't do that. That logic don't make sense. But listen, we're gonna wrap this up for tonight. Okay, we've gone over 2 hours. This is, I think, the longest podcast I've had, and it was the best. But before we do our outros, I just want to say something real quick. I just want to talk about the Irish podcast real quick. I started this podcast with some people who are no longer on the panel. It's because they mostly because they did some sneaky shit to me. Okay, like, and I'm going to give an example, and I'm going to put his name out there, like Aaron Hunter, trolling me on my own streams, you know, or people making subliminal videos because of Iron Wolf or some dumb shit. That's why they're no longer here. But I do want to say that one member has been asked about a lot, which is HP. Yes, we all miss him right now, but he has a lot going on in his life right now. However, like I said earlier, he will be returning soon, probably within the next month, hopefully. Okay, I already spoke with him. He's coming back. Just like Porter Rock's out right now, he'll be coming back. It's job related. He cannot pop in all the time. Next 4 weeks, he should be back. Okay. What I'm looking for on my podcast are for, you know, even some additional members, 1 or 2, who can add to the. We got a lot of PlayStation people. So we need, and we got some people who can talk about PC. We need people on here that can talk about the Xbox experience and be real about it. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Or experience, we can have a Nintendo person on here also. That's what I'm looking for. So if anybody knows anybody that is willing to get on a podcast and actually talk some real shit, hit me up. We'll do it. Okay.
They got to be able to agree to disagree.
Exactly. That too. Agree to disagree. We have our opinions. We don't fight. We're not going to bash each other. We're not going to do that. This is not those other podcasts. We don't do that shit here. We keep it real. Okay. I also want to let everybody know that I'm announcing that this podcast will be doing giveaways soon. Okay.
Ooh,
and I hope
fancy.
you all will enjoy the content here. Okay. But we are going to be doing giveaways. Okay. So people come and join. Tell your friends, come and join, because giveaways are going to happen. All right. So with that being said, I think we had a great podcast. I love all my panel members. We're going to do our outros. We'll start with you, Demetrius, since you're at work, in case you got to do something. Demetrius, you there?
I think he's out.
Oh, I think he had to go out. No, he may have to handle a customer because he's there until 10. Okay.
Oh, dang.
All right. Let's do Young Cease. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to thank you for coming out. Sorry I was late, but hey, at least I showed up and was here for most of it. We had some good conversations. Rambo, whenever you want to do that talk about the other like political stuff, just invite me.
Yeah, I definitely will, man.
And my YouTube is YoungCease24. You can also find me on Twitter by the same name. If any of you guys wanna play or whatever, just hit me up, and I'm open all this week for you guys. So just hit me up whenever you guys want. I'll see you later.
Sounds good. All right. Next up we got J-Dub.
Hey everybody. Thanks for rocking out with this podcast. Kratos. You can call me J-Dub or Kratos. It's all the same. You can find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. I'm always keeping it funky. I'm always having fun. Just enjoying gaming. You guys find me on Twitter. Soon I'm gonna start to do something with a YouTube channel, but right now, I'm on Nancy's podcast and I'm on Iron Wolf's podcast, the Greatness Podcast. So you guys make sure you sub and like and subscribe to those guys.
Thank you. Next up, we got Craig Harris.
Hey guys, and Nancy, thanks for the vine. Sorry I was late. I was actually playing Mass Effect. But
so you and your pet rock play Mass Effect and forgot about me. All right, Craig. All right. I got your number now. Well, go ahead. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yeah, Craig Harris for Harris Talks Games. I'm on Twitter as well. I think it's Craig Harris 456, and I appreciate the vine, and always a pleasure being here talking with you guys and J-Dub and Rambo and Young Cease. Young Cease, you were getting trolled over there. I was over there trying to in the chat. Yeah, I appreciate it, Nancy, and thanks for the vine. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure talking games. Appreciate it.
Okay. Just remember to come on time, all right? People like you. Get your ass in here. You and your pet rocks. I know you got 2 of them now, so stop playing. But anyway, last but not least, we got Rambo.
What's going on, guys? You can follow me at Rambo's Corner on Twitter or on YouTube there. If you actually, I'm actually a co-host of another podcast called The Game Talk. We actually are launching our own channel right now called The Game Talk. So if you want to go subscribe to that, you can. Just make sure you mark the bell, and that way you'll be notified when we either go live or upload a video there. That way, that's where we actually talk games, politics, pretty much everything. We call it The Game Talk, but it's basically us talking just pretty much anything that's going on right now. So that's another place you can follow me. I'm pretty much there every Monday or every Wednesday and Friday right now, but we're going to be expanding. So just hit me up anytime, man.
Great. Listen, and you know who this is. First of all, I want to thank everybody for watching us. Okay. I also want to thank all my panel members. Unfortunately, he's probably working. He had to go. So he couldn't do his outro. But please, guys, check out these people's channels that have channels. And if they're on a podcast, check out the podcast because they do have good content. If they didn't and they weren't true gamers, they would not be here on my podcast. You know that. Okay? Check them out. Sub them. Follow them. Okay? Please. And hit that like button on the way out. Okay? You know who this is. This is the Titanfall Princess. I'm signing out until next week. Okay? And y'all know what? Y'all know you love me. Later.